I'm just creating these chapters so I can talk about the different different aspects of the images. Okay, now we need a little bit of content here. So what I've done is I've just basically got a whole bunch of content here. I'm just gonna about leopards, and I copied this from Wikipedia. Okay, and then I'm gonna go here, paste and format it. Okay, so we have a couple of chapters of text here. Alright, now we are going to put an image right here, and before we do that, actually I just want to show you something. So let's bring up our browser again. We'll select a nice small image, let's say this image here, and then we'll go down here and we'll select this one. We'll say copy, and now here I'm just gonna say paste image. Okay, now as you can see here, the image and the text is wrapped around the image. So there is something called an image wrapping style. Okay, so if you right click on the image and you go to format, by default the wrapping style is set to square. Okay, which means that the text will kind of flow around the image. So first of all, we want to go inline, because I just want to demonstrate something where we have the image inline. We'll click OK, and now the image is by itself. Okay, so if you want to place an image and then you want to put some text underneath, then this is the best way. Now over here, if you now want to center this image, it's very simple. We just click on this icon here to centerize it. Then we can even go right justify or left justify. Okay, or click on justify itself, which actually doesn't do anything because it's really related to text. So here's center justification. Alright, now if I go back into the format, right, you'll find that this horizontal alignment is grayed out. It's because we have this this option wrapping style set to inline. Okay, that's why we don't have these options. And the way you align the image in inline mode is to use these icons here. Okay, so that was inline justification. Okay, so one of the most popular wrapping style is the square style. So let's take a look at that now. So let me create a new section called wrap style square, so we can talk about that. And once again, I just want to take some content and I want to be able to just paste it in here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place my cursor here, and I'm going to grab my one of these images, copy image, and then here I'm just going to paste it in there. Okay, so if you look at this, the format is square, okay, and it's left justified. So let's click OK. And one of the things that a lot of people want to do is they want to put a little space between the letters here and the image, because it's really bunched up right against the image here. So how do you do that? Well, I'll show you. Just basically right click, go to format, and then this option here, which is size and distances. So click on that tab, and then what we want to do is we want to set the right distance from text. Okay, so over here we'll just type in 5mm and click OK. So as you can see here, now the text is kind of, there's a nice little area between the image on the right hand side and the bottom too, so that looks pretty decent. Okay, now if you wanted to center this image in this square wrapping style, you can't use these options. If you do, nothing will happen, because actually what you're really doing is you're really working on the text, not the image. So in order to center justify this image, you select it, right click, go to format, and then you use these horizontal alignment options here. Okay, so we'll click on the center here and we'll click OK. So now the image moves right into the center, and as you can see here, the text actually flows around the image. Now if you want to put the set the gap here to be the same as here, then you need to set up the left hand side option, which we see in size and distances, and this one here. So we'll set this at 5 too. So now we've got a nice gap in between here, here, and here. Okay, and let me just try this. I'm just gonna click on justify. Yeah, this is so cool. Look at this. So basically now you've justified the text, and you can see that it nicely lines up everywhere. But the only problem is justification kind of keeps, or creates all these gaps here. Alright, so let's go back to left justify. And so that's the way you do square style. Now let me show you the other styles, which is we go back inside. So we've got top and bottom, and then we've got in front and behind. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you top and bottom, right? So let's say I want to put an image right in between here, right there. So I'll say paste image again. Okay, and this is square, so I'm going to go format, then I'm going to go in front and click OK. Alright, so basically now the text is in front. Alright, and then what about behind? So we'll go format, and then we'll say behind, and see, isn't that cool? Look, the text is in front of the image, so the text flows, and then you've got your image at the back. So this is a really great way of kind of creating watermarks or putting background images onto your page and things like that, which is really good. And the last option is the one which says top and bottom. So let's try that, top and bottom. Click OK, and as you can see here, okay, I'm just going to move this into the middle. Okay, there you go. Alright, so where you move it, see, you've got here. Now unfortunately I cannot make this the screen any bigger because it will be outside my recording area, but you can see that the paragraph has been split up into two sections, and now you've got the image right in the middle. Okay, and here if you click this, nothing is going to happen, but if you right click on this and then we go into center, then the image will move into the center. Okay, so that is how you do the images. And I think we've covered all the aspects, but there's a lot of options here. There's lots of like options in size and distances. You can play with scale here, although I wouldn't recommend you doing scaling because you will lose quality. And then go and look into the saving options, and you can see that you can play around with the resolution, save type, and I mean there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do. So I invite you to kind of play around with these options and really get to know them, because they do really help you, and it's pretty powerful what they can do. Alright, so I hope this video has given you the information that you require and you feel comfortable about working with images, and we'll see you in the next video.